The story I'm going to tell you today might not have happened at all if one day one person with a big and loving heart didn't go out of his way to help someone else. And as you know, kindness tends to return 100-fold to the sender. And today you will see this once again. After all, when processing paperwork years ago to adopt a boy, a woman named Ingeborga McIntosh could hardly have imagined the consequences of her noble deed. Long 27 years later, the dedication and boundless love she showed literally saved her life. But first things first. As a young and attractive woman, Ingeborga could never pass by other people's grief, and therefore, in her youth, she chose a very unusual and very difficult profession, becoming a guardian for children whose parents abandoned them. Everything began with a simple and boundless love for the little ones. But just a few years later, more than 120 abandoned children have found warmth, attention, and care in the home of their sworn mother. And although Ingeborga treated absolutely every child with boundless care and love, one child simply won her heart. In the orphanage for abandoned children, Ingeborga met a 4-year-old boy who was growing up without love or care. He just sat quietly in the corner of the room with a toy car in his hands. What can I say? The woman knew from the first sight that this boy was meant to be hers. However, it wasn't long before the mother was disappointed. The thing is, she could not adopt little Jordan. And even in spite of good relations with the guardianship authorities, McIntosh was not allowed to take the child with her. The reason for this was the conditions that the birth mother set for further adoption. That is, only African American or mixed families could adopt Jordan. That is why, for about 4 years, they looked for a suitable family for the boy all over the country. But since no such family was found, he was forced to live in an orphanage, meeting and seeing off his new potential mommy and daddy every time. And probably that would have been the end of the story. But the woman decided not to give up and fight for this baby. So it took a few years for Jordan to finally become Ingeborga's official son and go to his new home. What happened next? And then the happy life of the baby and his new mother went their way. The boy became an adult and an independent man. However, he always remembered the one who was his mother and gave him back his faith in people. Of course, Jordan was eternally grateful to his mother for his childhood and especially for the care and love she had given him. And when one day he had the opportunity to thank his mother, he didn't hesitate for a minute. The thing is, a woman was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, and she needed an urgent and immediate transplantation surgery. Needless to say, the waiting list for donor organs was huge, and many people wait for ages. And some people never get the chance to undergo a life-saving surgery. They leave our world forever. By the way, the same fate awaited the woman. Knowing this, she even encouraged herself to think that her life, which she had spent helping others without a shred of regret, was coming to an end. But friends, that's where her son stepped in. As soon as Jordan found out about his mom's illness, he immediately took all the necessary tests to check for compatibility, and as it turned out, his kidney was completely suitable for a transplant. And without a shadow of a doubt, the guy gave part of himself to his named but most dear mother in the world. In addition, the woman had no idea until the last minute who the donor would be, and when she found out, she couldn't hold back her tears. Luckily, the surgery was successful, and Ingeborga continues to live to the joy of all her adopted children and, of course, Jordan. It was symbolic that the surgery was done on the eve of Mother's Day, and it did not matter at all if the mother is a biological or adoptive mother. Jordan's own words simply and succinctly describe what happened. "It was the least I could do for my mom. She saved me once, and now I had to save her." What is even more surprising, such an attitude is not often met, even among blood relatives. This is probably the best reason to think about how our actions can change the world. Unselfishness and attention, care and love, these are the most precious coins, which you should not save and keep to yourself. Friends, how would you personally act in this guy's shoes? Be sure to write your opinion in the comments. But that's all for today. Rate the video if you like it, and see you soon. Bye!